What is going on? I am Anon Moose, better known as Zedmot. That is Zedmot in your creator boost in every single Supercell game. So when you're jumping in there to get those free keys or free tokens or to laugh at the laughable offers that the shop has, to the special offers, do throw code Zedmot in there. Now this is going to be my mega weekly video. That means no face cam, no 4K. One of the commenters was wondering why no 4K, because there's no advantage to going above 1080p for the booming of the beaches. I'm going to start out with an operation hit, which is a little bit out of the ordinary, but do check the cards. There have been videos for basically every meta, every base, every engine room level. So A, check the cards, B, check the chapters. We will get into some warships soon, but I'm just going to jump into an op hit to start, trying to give the main base some love. And the fact that we've got Tiny Shock is a huge reason to have a lot of fun on the main base. Now, this is one where many task forces do a free snipe to one side. I am going to go hit the core because we decided to get not the engine rooms, holy brain, a little bit frayed at the moment. We went and got all the shield gens. So you see there's no shield gen at the back right or the front left. That makes it a good time to go do a hit against shield gens. Anyway, sorry, brain is completely fried. We are going to be doing all of this live with no interruptions, with no breaks or edits or cuts. So there's going to be some screw ups. There's going to be some mistakes made. And that is part of the fun. That is why I like to do all sorts of live hits. Notice that the triangle is thrown with the smoke at the front thrown first. You guys probably all know that by now, but in case you don't, the reason for that is that way your heavies show first. We're going to throw a shock there, maybe a shock over there, a shock back there. We have got all of the shocks, all of the things are happening. This is an unboosted hit on massive attack, I believe. As those flamethrowers and things become unshocked, we're going to be in a world of pain, and we are going to leave a tiny sliver on the core. I'm very curious to see how much health is on that core. We left one artillery, 6,151, so we can let someone know, hey, you get to do a free BART job. Let's just write that down. Free BJ. BJ, of course, being BART job. Just for those of you who are unaware of the Boom Beach acronyms, now that we've failed, let's jump a little bit more towards a warshipy thing. Okay, so I have made a change to one of my warships. Yes, I have 3 warships. We are going to show you this one. This has been the one that I've not shown off because it is my least of the sexy warships. It has been using tanks and medics and grenadiers, and recently I made a drastic change. This change is something that really I had to wrap my brain around. It was not something that made a lot of sense to me. In warships every season, I hoard keys. I sit like a dragon on my treasure waiting for those keys to unlock critical things like the Heavy Choppas, and especially the Heavy Choppas this season. And then I realized, well, although we've got things like riflemen and cryoneers and tanks and things, those are actually critters, heavies are very useful, and we're going to need them later. So instead of going to get the buses and then coming back for the heavies, I figured, you know what, forget it. Let's go get the heavies now because I really don't want to use tanks anymore. So whether or not it's going to pay off or not, I don't know. If you don't have instant training, it's a great substitute for tanks. It means that you now have an extra troop you can throw out there as a meat shield. What we are going to do here, though, is we are going to start off. I'm going to show you a couple small details that I didn't think about this season that I should have thought about this season. And number one is holding back at least one heavy and one bombardier. It is going to be very useful for you. I'll hopefully show you here in a second. This is one of the negative things about doing live attacks all the time. So all of our troops are going to go towards that left-hand side. Now that they've started that walk, we're going to go something like this. We are going to get that shock there. We are going to throw some critters on there. As most of our heavies are dead, we're just going to keep pumping that second wind, getting heavies back. So valuable. Yes, I know we can get all sorts of... don't do it, Kevon. I can't find my smoke button. There it is right there. Barely holding on with our good friend, Dr. Kevin Kevon. Notice that our our bombardiers did manage to get many of the defenses that are underneath that sky shield. Our heavies are barely holding on. Kevon is barely holding on, but we're doing okay. Now, one quick note, the unsung hero of this season for me is the medkit. The medkit, I slept on the medkit for way too long. You're going to see right here, this medkit keeping those bombardiers alive in oh so good of a fashion. Keep pumping the medkits out. Make sure you max your medkits. I'm sure you've got lots and lots of tokens left. We all do. Let's get rid of that rocket launcher before we get rid of the sky shield. That is going to be vital for us because Kevon can't heal all that much. Critters underneath that sky shield, so good. And it's amazing how long it takes shock blasters to get rid of critters at times. And then all of our troops are going to wrap around and we're going to get that final engine room. With heavies and bombardiers against sixes, you're probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like a minute 40 or so. Not super duper quick, but it should be fast enough that you should... There we go. Opponent has retreated. Now, I've shown you guys way faster ways to take these bases down. Again, I can't stress it enough. Go check the cards up there. You can take these bases down using warriors. You can use Rocket Choppas, but that wasn't the point of this video. Didn't want to just do a rehash of all the things I've already shown you. If you have questions about specific troops, do hit me up in the comments. Heavies, yes, tanks do a little bit of damage, but they also cost you more gunboat energy. So it's a weird balancing act. Also, bringing back heavies, as you can see right about here, our good friend tanks take up 8 holes on the landing craft, for lack of a better word. Our good friend heavies here only take up 4, so you're going to bring back twice as many heavies as you are tanks, which means twice as many shots in the face. Now, I alluded to hiding. This account is 1000% in hiding. This is the lowest I've been at in a while, and I'll show you why to start with. Look at that, just gross. I spent a bunch of tokens, a bunch of keys on things I probably shouldn't have, and as a result, that upper tier of 21, 22, 23, 24, it all has either heavy choppas or seekers. I have yet to make up my mind of where I'm going to go yet, and I'm going to show you a seeker hit that is average. Like, this seeker hit got 3 minutes and 2 seconds on this base, one that I just got like a minute 40 on using heavies and bombardiers, using an average seeker hit. And let me know if you think I'm being unfair. I think this is an average seeker hit. I think that many of you can do better. I know people are doing better. They're going to get one smoke out there, smart, and then all of the rest of them, and many of them are going to go in a different direction. The cryo bombs are a little bit late. Like this, I'm not saying this is not a good attack. Don't get me wrong. This is a very good attack. It just can be better, which is so scary. Like, see that cryo bomb slowing down their seekers? They're getting 3 minutes and 2 seconds on an attack that is not perfect. See, that bullet has been hit by the cryo bomb. He's not moving as fast as he could. The critters are not perfectly placed, so they missed one of the shock bombs. And then bullet hits it. They get a little bit of unluckiness there. And then they finally get all their seekers onto that final engine room with some barrage just for a little bit of spice on top of it. So 3 minutes, 2 seconds. And that is why I am hiding. Yes, I could go get that next engine room level, but as many of you have seen, clearing 6s is generally faster than clearing 5s, unless you can do it well, of course. Clearing 7s is generally faster than clearing 6s. And again, unless you can do it well, of course. And everyone is going to get to the end of this tree because everyone has the Admiral's Key. Everyone is getting free keys and tokens in the shop every single day. At least I think it's every single day. So Heavy Choppas will be unlocked for me soon, but of course that happens on a weekend and I gotta drive 7 hours each direction for a wedding. Hooray! So you'll notice, quick note here, this is vital. Don't get, when you're in hiding, don't get that chest until you have a second chest available. I got 7 engine rooms on my last attack, but there's only 1 chest available, so I left it there. Now that I've got 2 chests, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 more attack. I'll get this chest right here. Somehow I'm still in the global top 500, and then I'll leave it. That way, all 14 of my engine rooms will go towards chests instead of getting 7 here and then getting 7 more engine rooms and only getting 1. I realize all of these details are mundane and 99.9% of you know these things, but there's always one person that says, dude, I didn't think about that so much. Thank you so much. And for that person, you're welcome. And for everyone else, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to Warriors. Warriors have been my go-to. Let's just double check. Do they have the building health? Only 50%. Tech tree has eluded my brain. I think we should be safe here. If not, I'm going to be in a world of pain. I don't want to try and flare that flamethrower, even though I probably could. Quick note, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, the cryo bomb has a radius of 8 tiles, so this is the optimal spot of where to throw it. That is exactly what I'm going to do, and our opponent is still scouting. We're going to wait for them. You want to wait? I can wait just as well as you. We're going to get down to that final second. And what people have been doing is they've been scouting and using their entire scout timer, knowing full well that some people are struggling or failing. And then if they end up retreating, you can then just walk through at a leisurely pace. That is why I have started to be a little bit more cunning. I am not a cunning player when it comes to Boom Beach. I rely wholly on skill and timing, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Did I forget to press taunt? No, I don't think I did. But having to do a little bit more of the old-fashioned scouting and waiting and planning this season, which is not a bad thing at all. But my goodness, can it ever be frustrating? Did that cryo bomb? Of course it did not. You see that I didn't scout quite enough, so all of our dudes, you know what? I think I need to get all of you back over in here. That way Bullet can do a little bit more protecting of his flock, for lack of a better term. Now, we are going to go towards that next engine room. Bullet's going to be in behind, which is not going to be ideal at all. Many mistakes are being made here. I know I could have cleared this for sure using that other strategy I already showed you, but again, living on the edge on this account is both good and terrible at times, making many mistakes. Now we're going to just pull out. This is where saving our troops could pick up the win, even though this has been a terrible attack. And by the way, I don't recommend going from tank warships to warrior/rocket choppa warships. Many mistakes will be made. And we're going to try to salvage this by getting that final engine room. I have salvaged this at least once this season, where going in here, you're going to get like 3%, and pulling out and going backwards, you're going to end up getting an engine room just using Bullet all by himself. There was an attack yesterday where I ended up getting this, like the flamethrower, the rocket launcher, all the way down to here cleared. Oh, what did I just do? Oh no! Oh, are you kidding me right now? Speaking of absolute stupidity, trying to show you guys something. This is, oh God. I got a sound for that. Where did our sound for that go? And now, as a result, if I lose 2-1, I am going to cry myself to sleep tonight. That was just beyond ridiculous. And this is where if you're trying to push warships, I don't recommend that you record them or jump from warship to warship. This is just absolute madness. Not only did I completely and utterly screw this attack up, but I just cost myself at least one engine room towards my chest, which is not going to do good things for me in the long haul. So now that Bullet started to turn back there, need to get him going over here. We still have the slimmest of chances, but we're not going to get through that flamethrower. This is an absolute train wreck, and I am kind of glad that you guys are here to see it, because I have lost many times this season doing stupid things, whether it be a flare with my palm or a phone call in the middle of an attack, or many things have gone awry. We are going to win this battle. Bullet is going to live to see the next day. No, he's not. No, he's not. So we would have 1,000% got that engine room down, but stupidity on my part. We move back into 22 in the ugliest of fashions. So I know that some of these attacks are not super duper good, but I can't stress this enough. Go jump into those cards, and this video, at least it can entertain you if it can't educate you, which is half of the battle. And I know I said I've been playing 3 different warships, but we're going to do this right here. Yes, I am going to park. Hopefully you got to look at that base before I did so. I have built it in a way that allowed it to stop the Rocket Choppa hit that I've been showing all of you. And this has been my log. So getting into the diamond level at 5 engine rooms was very difficult. I didn't think it was possible, but know that the door is still open. And why I'm parking is all about this right here. Not those right there. This end of season rewards. Getting that 30 powder, those 500 diamonds for this account is great. It also means that I don't have to play 3 warships, which just ruins my life. Playing too many video games can be bad, apparently. So I'm going to show you some of the attacks that I've been doing. See that getting 218, they fizzled, I fizzled, they fizzled. So this base is holding up fairly well. Dyson Lin, though, this attack, let me show you what Dyson Lin has. Dyson Lin is known as one of the most defensive players in Boom Beach. He has the building health. He's got all of the building health. He's got shock launchers and managed to pull out the most unusual win against him. I couldn't figure out why my warriors weren't destroying the engine rooms. So do be aware, if you're attacking 6 engine rooms using warriors, that if you start to see things like shock launchers, also be aware of looking for building health, because that extra building health makes warriors not really work all that well. Anyways, we'll show you my attack on DD. You've already seen my hit on 5 engine rooms. And again, this is exactly what I was trying to show you just now, but didn't go super duper well. We're getting all the warriors onto their rocket launcher, taunting all of the things, and then just walking through all of the stuff. Pretty darn simple when done well, but when it's not done well, like my last attack that you just watched live, not going super duper clean. Just walking, like just super simple, walking through, all things going well, and then the old pull out, moving back as soon as we possibly can to that back. Quick note, do flare the flamethrower instead of the machine gun. That gets rid of it, gets Bullet to be able to taunt both, because if Bullet actually had the gunboat energy. Anyways, you've seen that. I got it in the cards. I will show you one more quick hit. Unfortunately, the hit that I was trying to show you isn't in my replay log. So those of you who have not seen this hit, I figured I'd throw it out there, doing it a little bit differently, throwing the smoke there, because otherwise that cannon is going to wreck us, clearing this right-hand side using Rocket Choppas. This is basically the exact same hit that I was showing you before, just ever so slightly modified because of the fact they've added some defenses on that right-hand side. There are other ways to pull off Rocket Choppa hits. There are a lot of ways to pull off Rocket Choppa hits. And if you have tick 5 flares, which some of you said, hey, I've got tick 5 flares, what do I do? The easy solution, as you can see, I'm using smoke. Do smoke bullet. It saves some of his health. At this point, if you have that extra tick flare, you'll see just like right here, that flare expired because I did not time it super duper well. You can also throw an extra flare to keep them moving towards the back, and then simply flare onto a defense to bring bullet back. If he keeps walking past your Rocket Choppas, this hit is going to go very, very poorly. And I gotta throw a shout out to Hinka, because Hinka commented and said, you don't need to watch the timer, you don't need to count. All you need to do is watch those red dots above the defenses, and as soon as those red dots go away, then click taunt again, right about now. So obviously, unless bullet hits a shock mine, at which point you're going to be in a world of pain. I have been doing that. You also do need to keep bullet moving. I just threw the final flare out there because you get a little bit faster. I had the GBE for a shock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds is my record. But those are the bases where people try to get clever by throwing all of their engine rooms in like this sort of formation, something like that. You do definitely want to have an engine room back in this neighborhood. Otherwise, Rocket Choppa players are just going to eat you for breakfast. Now that that's done, let's move back to the main base. We are going to do imitation game. I say this every video, Supercell, please fix imitation game. It is an absolute gong show, especially for a max level player. With that barrage damage tribe, you can likely just barrage all of the stages. But we are going to use troops on this one simply because of the fact that I love to watch Laser Rangers absolutely crush things. Laser Rangers, probably my favorite troop on the main base. Supercell, great job bringing them out. Now just give us something to do with them. The fact that you don't get hard bases until you get to like 1,400 victory points. I would love to see imitation game bring in one of the top 50 players. Also, how cool would it be for one of the top 50 players if they could see their name in imitation game? I miss names on imitation game so much. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on how Supercell can fix things using its existing code, some of you guys throwing things out there like you need that are just not based on reality. Also, just a quick reminder, anything you bring out, people are going to exploit. Like people saying you need to be able to give powder to people in your task force. You know someone out there is going to say, come join my task force, send me a PayPal transfer of $5 and I'll send you 1,000 powder, or something ridiculous like that. And sadly, those are the kinds of people that stop fun, cool features from being in many games, whether it be Brawl Stars or Boom Beach or what have you. Also, quick note, I just got my Supercell shares, which are things that you get when people put code ZMOT into their game. I don't know who you are that's playing Heyday, but I just got $3 from someone playing Heyday, or a bunch of people playing Heyday. So thank you so much for using my code in games that I don't publish videos on. I play many Supercell games. I just don't feel comfortable publishing other games because I don't have the same knowledge basis. Like I end up finding myself like looking things up just to double check. Like yesterday I looked up what is Colt's best gear, because I hadn't gotten Colt to level 11 yet. So I have general ideas, and generally speaking, when I go on the Googles or the YouTubes or Reddit, I find the answer that I thought I was going to find, but I just don't have the confidence in things like Brawl Stars that I do in Boom Beach. So that, if you're wondering why I play Brawl Stars a bunch and have an active club and all of the rest of it, but don't publish videos, that is why. And if you have suggestions on videos for other games, please do let me know. I have considered many, many, many times, but just not gotten there. Anyways, we have gotten off topic a little bit. We are on to imitation game. Speaking of off topic, my kids' tent arrived in the US. Need to go across the border and pick it up. For those of you who have not been on the channel for a long time, I am a bit weird. My kid has lived in a tent in the backyard for 3.5 years, through summer, through rainstorms, through windstorms, through snowstorms, and I think it's normal and fine. He's fine with it. Anyways, his old tent was an old canvas tent. It had been decayed to the point of no return, and finally managed to source out a tent for him that was not that tents. Canvas tents are freaking expensive, man. It is crazy. Anyways, so yeah, if you have any questions about that and if that makes you raise your eyebrows, do let me know, because I probably should do a video on that, but that would just be, it's keeping him super, maybe the fact that, by the way, the fact that my name on YouTube is called Anon Moose, that is because I like my anonymity, and so I guess, but no one outside of anywhere, like one of our neighbors knows that our kid lives in the backyard. That is how private we've kept it, so we don't want random people poking their heads over. Is this where the tent kid lives? So I guess I could do it on here, and it could be kind of neat. Yes, I have done face cam, so I'm not super concerned about that, but it's just the fact that I guess I could just hold the cam. Anyways, let me know if you have suggestions about that, because I think it's kind of cool. I mean, how often do you hear about a 12-year-old who's been living in his backyard for 3.5 years? And my God, is it ever polarizing. Some people think we should be locked up as parents. I think they're insane. He's safe back there. He does great at school. He's an honor rolls kid. He's on the all-star team for soccer and baseball. He plays 2 instruments. He speaks 2 languages. Come on, what does it matter if he's where he sleeps, as long as he's safe and comfortable? And anyways, I'm ranting. And that's going to be the end of this video, though, because I've come to the end of my rope. We have cleared imitation game in easy fashion. We are going to quickly make sure we destroy enough NPCs if they're available, so we get that supply chest. We're going to keep our submarine diving. All of those tiny little details that help keep your account active, keeps your task force happy. Ooh, forgot to claim those. That would have been important. With playing 3 accounts, I'm sure I've missed some of those special offers. So if you're playing multiple accounts, do make sure you jump in there on all of your accounts while you're throwing code ZMOT in all of them. That's going to be it for today, though. Thank you for coming in. Longer video on Friday. Some of you like it, some of you hate it. Again, comment. I know that liking and sharing and clicking the bell and all those things are the things that most YouTubers rag on. I would just love it if you throw a comment down below. It helps me spend some time connecting with all of y'all. I'll talk to you soon, though. Yes, that was me pretending I'm from Texas. I'm ZMOT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.